welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast, brought to you, as always, by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, when you use promo code DNVR, new customers can make any $5 bet on the NBA playoffs and get $150 in bonus bets instantly if you win. That's code DNVR only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the the NBA. I get all of my sports mixed up.
They're all the same,
it's
right?
It's baseball or it's nothing for me. But hey, welcome to the show. I am Suzie Hunter, joined here by Christian Saez.
How's it going?
So happy to have another Susan Saez show.
Yes. It's been a while. It's been good.
We also, if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see we went complete opposite outfit.
Yeah. I tried to match. I tried to match the vibes outside.
You matched the weather.
The weather, yes. It was neutral colors today, and you did the opposite.
I go opposite. If it's dark out, I'm like, I need to be extra bright.
That seems so much more thoughtful than my style today. So I appreciate that.
But you know what? You also matched the weather in Seattle, where the Rockies are about to play in just a couple of hours, and all weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about that series. Not too much, though, because we have so much Rockies news, even though the Rockies did not even play yesterday.
Isn't that always how it is? You know, the games, the days that they don't play are the days that they just stack all the news. They're like, all right, we're going to just send all this stuff out today.
Yeah, no, everything's happening. The Rockies are just like trending more than they've trended all season.
Yeah,
they might have peaked right now. But yeah, the first piece of news that I think is really exciting, we talked about this a little. Patrick and I talked about this a little on Wednesday, but teams have started to extend their beer sales. The Rockies have now extended their beer sales
to the eighth
inning.
Yeah, it's good.
I love it. There's so much debate on this, and I've seen a lot of back and forth. A Phillies player actually posted. Did they do an interview? I saw it in a meme. No, a Phillies player posted about how, beer sales are cut off at a certain time because people need to sober up.
Yes, people need to, figure out how they're going to make it home.
So he's like, well, this is just making this more of a problem. But at the same time, I'm like, I think a couple of people in the office were talking about it like this. Like, is that like half hour really going to sober you up if you've been drinking the whole game?
No,
it's
and not enough. I mean, and the teams usually do a good job of promoting, hey, make sure you're being safe about it regardless. We've got options and support for you if you need to get home, with taxis, Ubers, whatever you need, we'll get you home. So yeah, I don't think I think for the teams, it just comes down to money. It's as simple as that. It's pretty black and white.
It's money. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, they're assessing the situation. Also, like, just because games have been so fast, like that 7th inning stretch really stinks up on you.
Yeah. And I haven't. I know we were talking about this a little bit before the show. Like, I still haven't gotten to go out to a live game yet.
And I'm
this
so
year.
sorry.
I'm so bummed about it. It just has not worked out with my schedule. I'm going too soon. It's going to happen. I just haven't been out yet. But I haven't really gotten to experience that in person, how fast it goes. But everyone who I've talked to who's been to games, especially when you're at the stadium, points on how much faster it is.
Yep. Yeah. I know a bunch of, the DNVR crew, they were at a game. I think they were at the Tuesday night game. They were, first of all, they were hammered too. So they were just like tweeting like crazy.
8th inning, 7th inning, 6th inning, doesn't matter. It was.
Oh my gosh. No, they were just like, they were they were gone from this earth. Is that what you said?
Gone from the start. Yeah.
They were gone. It looked like Marissa had a fun time on opening day though.
She did have a good time. She was balancing work in there as well, as you have to, but I think it was a lot more fun being had than work, at least from my perspective on Twitter.
Well, I always have fun covering games, but I'm like, no, like the DNVR crew who is just here for fun. They are having much more fun than me.
It's hard to balance that. I'm sure, when you see all your friends having fun and then you've got to work and you're just like, oh, how much fun do I have today?
I know.
It's a fine line to walk.
I was just like watching them drink their beers. I was like, could I have a beer? I'm like, you can't have a beer. You were going into the press box in like 5 minutes.
That's another thing is like when you work at games, press box food, it was always that was my kryptonite. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to eat really well. And then when I was working with the Spokane Indians, where minor league food is not the same as professional major league food, you'd get just like a hot dog, bunch of just like garbage food, hot dogs, burgers, chips, fries. And every single game, it was like, all right, I'm going to be healthy. I swear, this time I'm not going to do it. I'm going to work and I'm going to be focused. And then I get there and I just be like 3 hot dogs in, just like keep them coming.
I can't eat hot dogs because I think they're disgusting. And honestly, like way too sexual to be eating in public or at work. Like just too inappropriate. They don't have my blessing. I'm a woman of God. So like, I'm just not eating a hot dog like that. But I always bring a lunchbox to the park.
You do? Okay. So
I do because I need to eat. And I need to stress eat when things are going wrong. So just not having food is not an option for me.
Yeah, I'm always curious how, media is different because some people love the press box food and they get really involved and it's just a part of their meal, but some people don't. Yeah, I know people that brought their own meals.
Yeah, because, I also just don't always like everything they've got going on in the press box for food. Sometimes it's just not for me.
No.
All right. This record timing off the rails. Breaking Rockies news. This is like the huge news. So we were talking about, Dinger. He was attacked at a game on Monday night. He was tackled by a man who is described as drunk.
It's one of the largest, manhunts I've seen in the city of Denver.
Yes, I wanted the cops to roll up at this dude's house and catch him.
The fact that they didn't catch him, first of all, at the game. And then you see this tweet this from the Denver Police Department saying, hey, we're offering a reward to catch this guy because we haven't caught him yet.
So they figured out who it is after, they posted this. They offered a $2,000 reward for those anonymous tips. And of course, they had a picture of the guy too. Clear as day. That's got to be from, that's got to be from the cameras at Coors Field,
Can you imagine being this guy who just was like, obviously, probably a little intoxicated or a lot, and did this stupid thing, and then you show up, you're looking at your phone the next day, and you see your face just flying around Twitter and social media, Facebook, I'm sure, and just like, what's going through your head at that point? Like, oh my gosh, I'm a wanted fugitive.
Yeah. So, thankfully, because of those tips, the police were able to identify the suspect. His name is Kenneth Sonley. He was born in 1978. He is too old to be acting like this. Too old to be acting like this. Not okay. But he turned himself in. The police, I believe, it sounds from the Twitter thread that Denver police posted, they called him up. We're like, hey.
Do we need to roll up to your house and get you, or are you going to come to us?
So he turned himself in. So this is great news. Up until before I realized the police were looking for him, I really was under the assumption that he was arrested at the park.
Yeah. I mean, you see it now, especially you watch the NBA games and you see players who are getting heckled by a fan and they'll literally have the fan removed right then and there. I mean, it's like instant. The security's there. They wrap him up and take him out. And so I figured when I saw that video, I didn't even think twice.
Didn't even think twice. I was like, yeah, that's instant.
He was on the dugout. Yeah. I mean, you think of how quickly you're out of there if you even step foot on a field. So yeah, I was amazed that when we found out, it was like a little plot twist that he had not been captured. Yeah,
I definitely hope I hope Dinger is doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy that justice will be served. It's in the process of being served.
Yeah.
I wanted this whole SWAT team to roll up on his house, though. I wanted them to take him away really dramatically.
Yes. And can Dinger's safari guide, the person who walks around with Dinger and helps it? Could he have, or he or she have been with the SWAT team when they raided just to get that vengeance? That would have been amazing.
I want to see that kind of justice.
Yes.
Okay, we've got so many people commenting in here also. Yeah, I do want the Rocks to start trending for all the right reasons.
That is the right reason. It was trending.
What is your impression of the Rocky season so far?
It could be worse. I guess let's start with that. It could be worse.
It could always be worse.
Could be better. They had a good start. Maybe not the Rays kind of start.
When you say good start, do you mean the first 2 games?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
We had a good start. I mean, they're 5-8, right? I mean, it's we're still very, very early in the season.
Did the Rays win today?
I don't know. I actually haven't checked. I have not checked. The Rays, no one is like the Rays. That's an incredible storyline within itself. But the Rockies season, it's going as expected for me at this point. I don't really see any signs to panic more than we already were in the offseason in the sense of but I do think there are promising signs as well. They've had some players that are playing well. Some of these errors they really got to get under control. Crone with a big error. in the last game against St. Louis that led to some scoring opportunities. And, so some of those things, those are early season. Hopefully you would assume early season mistakes that can kind of get swept up and figured out as the season progresses. But yeah.
Update on what's going on with the Rays. That game just started. It's the first inning right now.
Okay.
And
are they winning?
They're down 1-0, but it's the first inning.
Yeah, I saw their viewership was up. Their whoever runs their broadcasting posted a tweet saying their viewership was up like 126% this season.
I mean,
it's insane.
You know what? They need it because no one goes to those games.
No. Yeah, exactly. And they have an amazing broadcaster, Dan Schulman. He's one of the best in the business. Used to do Monday Night Baseball. So, it's that the Rays are something special. They've got a lot of good things going on over there.
The thing that I loved, we're making it about Taylor Swift right now.
Yes.
So the Rays, as of right now, but since yesterday, they've been 13-0. And do you know who showed up in town yesterday for her world tour?
I would assume
Taylor Swift, and that's her lucky number. So I loved that. That's how they welcomed her.
Such a nice little Swiftie connection you made there.
Know what?
That's good.
A beautiful connection, especially because I think the day she arrived, the mayor of Tampa gave her the key to the city.
Oh, really?
So literally everyone has rolled out the red carpet for Taylor Swift, including the Rays by winning 13 games.
Just for her. I think that's
for her.
And now it's downhill from there, right? The Rays are just going to crash and burn. They hit the 13-0 mark. They're done. No, they're a fun team to watch. If you enjoy just watching baseball, that's a very fun team to just turn on and have in the background.
Yes, it's the Taylor Swift Rays now, not the Tampa Bay Rays.
Nice. That's good. I like it.
I love it. Let's shout out where we are right now at the DNVR bar at the corner of Colfax and York. Of course, we're in Studio B. We're a little farther away from the bar right now. But we're going to be facking it up after the game. And we're diehards, so we get that diehard discount. You are getting 15% off of your entire tab at the DNVR bar if you are a diehard, and you're getting 20% off of everything at DNVRlocker.com. 20% off of our tailgates and our party buses. We've got a Rockies one coming up that's going to be incredible, and if you don't buy tickets, I will literally kill you. Can I say that?
It says it in the notes. So,
it says it in the notes. That's in the ad copy.
Yep.
So it has to be true. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you got to check us out. You got to come down to the bar. Also, we have so many playoff watch parties coming up.
This is a crazy time in Denver sports right now.
Yeah, between Nuggets and Avs. You don't want to miss out on that. Mm-mm. This is the place to be. We are probably the most lit sports bar when it comes to playoffs.
100%. I've been waiting all year for these moments.
Yeah.
Especially after the Stanley Cup run last year. I mean, that was memories I will never forget. And yeah, let's roll it back.
I love that. Yeah, let's roll it back, fam.
Let's roll it back.
But listen, if you are not a diehard already, go to the DNVR.com. You're going to get a free t-shirt. What's better than that? What's better than a free t-shirt?
Nothing. I mean, you see how crazy people get when they throw the t-shirts out in the stands.
Oh my gosh.
People go nuts.
And you don't even have to make a diving catch to get a free t-shirt.
Nope. You do not. Don't have to fight with your neighbor.
You do not have to fight with your neighbor. You know what's even more entertaining than watching someone try to catch a t-shirt out of a cannon at a game?
No, what?
You can just watch all these games on Fubo TV, which are also super entertaining, and you're not going to pull a hammy.
No.
But yeah, we're so excited to tell you about Fubo TV. Listen, they've got 140 and growing more live channels. They've got sports, shows, movies. You can stream live TV from any device. So I love doing that because I'm always on the go. But you can watch the most Colorado sports for the lowest price. And there's a 7-day free trial too. So no contract. You don't have to deal with cable companies, no hassles. You can sign up and start watching 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included with no extra charge. And yeah, like we said, the most Colorado sports for the lowest price. You can watch your local teams while traveling. So you can watch the Nugs and the Avs and all of that on Fubo TV. There's a link in the description to sign up, and that link will get you 15% off.
Good deals.
You know who else is getting 15% off? If you use that DNVR code at pinsandaces.com, you are getting 15% off your first order. Pins and Aces, They are the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. We love our Pins and Aces stuff. Patrick and I are getting Pins and Aces gear really soon, actually, which I'm really excited about because
that's cool.
They have some amazing polos. Like their women's golf stuff is incredible. And I saw something on there about a built-in sunglasses holder.
Wow.
And for me, the girl who loses her sunglasses.
Yes.
As you know.
And you love different holders. You bring all these different beer holders to tailgates. Like you have purses. Like anything that
so many bags.
Make your life more efficient. You're all about it.
Well, also like women's clothes never come with pockets, so like any extra pocket or holder for my items is going to save me a pair of sunglasses probably.
Yeah, you think someone would have figured that out by now, but no.
No, it's because the fashion industry hates women, but not Pins and Aces. They are a family-owned golf and apparel business based right here in Colorado, but their reach is national. They have got amazing polos, hats, golf bags. They have a beer sleeve that's going to keep all of your beers warm, and you can put it right in your bag. They have the stick. The liquor stick.
Oh,
it's like it looks like it could be your club, one of your clubs.
Yep.
But it shoots liquor out of it, so you can take your little shots to go with you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So you can check all of this out at pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR and get 15% off of your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. Okay. So after this first couple of series, first homestand. We've got a couple of weeks of games in. You know, there's so many guys that I think about down at AAA who I'm like, damn it, I wish they were up here.
Yeah, and that's something you start to see as the season progresses. You know, you start to see some guys struggling a little bit, and other guys doing really well in AAA. And the Rockies, they're going to be a team that I think has a lot of cycling going on because you don't. I mean, besides your key guys in the lineup. There are some positions that I don't think are really locked down yet.
No, definitely not. And of course, you know, we're keeping an eye on the pitching situation. If Marquez is out longer than we expect, they've got that off day, so you know we probably could just do the 4-man rotation. I am not sure, you know, just for this week.
Yeah.
But I am not sure. Yeah, either long run or Bud Black might change his mind.
Yeah.
And he said that on Wednesday morning to us. You know, they're still keeping all the options open. Not sure yet, but pitching for the most part down in Albuquerque has been pretty good, except for Thursday night. Did you see the score of the Topes game last night?
Yeah, wasn't it like 13 to something?
No, so much worse.
Oh no,
19-6.
19-6. Oh my gosh.
They're playing the El Paso Chihuahuas, the Padres AAA team. But they've got a weapon down there right now.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, they have Fernando Tatís Jr. down there doing a rehab assignment, which... Okay, I hate that dudes who are still finishing up a PED suspension are out there doing rehab assignments.
Crushing guys.
Just
crushing it.
Crushing balls.
4 home runs
homers.
in a game. And yeah.
Ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? I did talk to Isotopes broadcaster Josh Suchon earlier today. So I got all the latest that is happening down there. But Alyssa, are we ready to roll that? Yes. All right. So here's Josh Suchon. Enjoy. of what is going on with the Isotopes, but also you are playing an opponent with a very high-profile rehab assignment.
Yeah, Fernando Tatís Jr. I think some people have heard of him. Definitely people in El Paso have heard of him. There is a lot of jerseys. There is a lot of kids that have his same hair, whether they just created it or whether it's a wig or whether they've always had it. It's been pretty electrifying, especially last night. 3 home runs in the game. You know, I've seen a lot of rehab assignments in my time. There's been a lot of high-profile rehab assignments. It's not very often that someone is there and you get to see them bat 6 times, because normally they depart after 3, 4, 5, 6 innings. But he played all 9 innings. He got 6 at-bats. He hit 3 home runs. He drove in 8 RBIs. It was a pretty electrifying night, notwithstanding why he's actually there.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. I know a lot of chatter online is, why is he allowed to do a rehab assignment if he's still under his PED suspension?
The PED suspension is for major league games that you have to miss. And I don't remember exactly when this was negotiated by the players union, but certainly it's been around since at least 2009, because I vividly recall Manny Ramirez having an extremely well-known rehab assignment with the Albuquerque Isotopes. I was in Los Angeles at the time, so I saw that one kind of from afar. So yeah, I mean, they're allowed because, I mean, let's face it, you have to be fair. They need time to get their swings in, to get their endurance in order to get their timing, or else you're waiting for an injury to happen. So again, this has been decided that you can play I think it's a maximum of 15 minor league rehab games you can play.
Oh, interesting. You know what? Thank you for explaining the rule. And of course, you know the rule. You know everything that's going on. How are our Isotopes doing down there? It sounds like there's a lot of injuries right now.
Yeah, so I think the story of the season so far is that they're winning, and they're winning despite a bunch of injuries. Now, first week of the season, Cole Tucker got hurt, and also Jamison Hanna got hurt. And then second week of the season, Brenton Doyle was trying to make an amazing catch. He leaped against the wall in left center, banged his knee against the wall. Originally, we were hoping that he would just miss a couple of games. Then he got placed on the injured list. And then just a couple of days ago, right before first pitch, Aaron Schunk got scratched. And I remember thinking at the time, did he get scratched because he's going up due to Montero's injury? So it turned out, no, he got scratched because he was hurt. He hurt his hip. He goes on the injured list. Instead, the next day, Nolan Jones gets called up. So we've had 4 guys who are supposed to be prominent guys on our lineup who are currently on the injured list, plus Nolan Jones gets called up to the big leagues. Yet we're winning. We have a winning record. Let's not talk about last night too much, but we have a winning record so far.
Yeah, what is the Isotopes record right now?
2 games above 500. So it's a winning record. The team is finding ways to win. There's times that the offense is getting it done. There's times the defense is getting it done. I know that Coco Montes is a huge friend of the pod, and Coco's off to a great start. Hunter Stovall is playing extremely well as well. It's a guy who's not really on prospect list, but second base, left field, making the plays, getting on base. The pitching, so we've had 2 games in which the pitching was dreadful. Well, maybe 3 games. Otherwise, the pitching's been really good. So the overall numbers don't look good, but more times than not, the pitching has been quite stellar.
Well, the pitching numbers never look good in the Pacific Coast League because that is the toughest league for pitchers. So you can't just go by the numbers. You always need context for it, right?
Yes, you need context. And really, I mean, that's the other problem, is that it's an average, right? It's an earned run average. It's an opponent's batting average. And especially early in the season, 3 bad outings for an entire staff makes things look really bad. But trust me when I say that there have been some really good individual performances. Carl Kaufman looked really good the other night. Noah Davis seems to have these outings where 1 bad inning, but the rest of the time it's good. So depending on if you're, glass half full, glass, not so full with Noah Davis. Blair Calvo has looked really good out of the bullpen. Josh Rogers has looked extremely good as a long reliever out of the bullpen. I'm wondering if he might go to the rotation or whether they keep him in a role kind of like Ty Block. Rogers has been really fun to watch pitch.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know we're definitely paying a lot more attention to Albuquerque starters right now because, we have Herman Marquez up here on the IL for hopefully just a little bit. But we've been keeping an eye on the pitching down there, on those starters especially.
So what's the story, Suzie? Who are you going to take from us? Who do I know that I can eliminate from my notes?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know anything, but I don't know, maybe Kaufman, but then you'd have to add him to the 40 man. So yeah, I don't know. don't know. There's some good choices, though.
Yeah, I've read, because I'm a studious follow of all of the Denver media, that there's an off day, and so you can push back. You've got some options in the bullpen with some guys who can go multiple innings, where you could kind of do a bullpen outing like that as well. I think that anytime that there is an injury like that, I mean, look, if you're a AAA, you know that you're always one phone call away, that you might always get called up at any moment's notice. But certainly a time like this, if you're a starting pitcher for the Isotopes, you should know, hey, I need to make a really good final statement that I should be the guy who gets called up.
Yeah, definitely. All right, speaking of guys getting called up, I know I'd taken some notes before I chatted with you, and it was like, oh, why aren't Nolan Jones and Michael Toglia up with the Rockies right now? And of course, Nolan Jones, he is now up with the Rockies for now. But Michael Toglia, he's had some bombs so far this season. What do you like that you've seen from him?
When he makes contact, really good things happen, and he hits the ball a long way. I mean, he can hit it to all fields, and he can hit from both sides of the plate. But just like has been the story for Tolia's entire career, for the most part, he's still striking out a lot. And if it's not an extra base hit, I think he only has one single right now. So the highlights have looked really good. The swings have looked really good. But I think you're probably looking for a little bit more consistency with Toglia, just in terms of just the quantity of contact and loud contact. And he's a guy who's so good defensively, and he's a guy where it's like must view TV when he's in the batter's box. You don't want to be going to the bathroom and getting something to eat when he's at the plate, because you just never know what he can do. And so his time will come. I like that he's at Albuquerque. I think that he's a guy who needs to play every day. He needs to just continue to get consistent at bats, consistent playing time, both at first base and in the outfield. And I'm thrilled for Nolan Jones, because he got singles and doubles and home runs and walks, and he threw a guy out from left field with a throw on the fly. He can play first and third and left and right. He's just a fun guy to have around the team. He keeps it light. He's always in a good mood, smile on his face. And I hope he gets a chance to play and show what he can do up there in Denver.
Yeah, no, I know Buddy said too, it was really big to see that strikeout rate go down. He's going to be fun. And of course, he's a Philly guy like me. So of course, I'm always partial to the Philly people. One more very important question for you, Josh. Has there been a Vanessa Hudgens sighting at any of these games?
Well, let's see. Cole is currently, as far as I know, in Arizona at extended spring. And I know that last weekend she might have been in Albuquerque. I know that there was plans. Put it this way. I'm just trying to leave them alone and just let them be a happy couple who are together and engaged. And I got enough going on in my life. I can't keep up with all of that, Suzie.
You have enough going on. You can't keep track of what Vanessa and Cole are doing. For me, got it. Understood. Sorry. Josh.
You're just going to have to deal with it. I'm happy to give you updates about what's happening between the lines, but that's the extent of my knowledge.
Josh,
but it is possible that she was in Albuquerque last weekend, because I know that was the plan.
Interesting. Well, when you see her, just tell her I said hey, of course. But Josh, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Where can we follow you? Where can we follow all of your content?
All of the content. Well, let's see. All the Isotopes games are online. They're on the Sports Animal radio station in Albuquerque that can be streamed. You can go to MILB to listen to all the games for free. If you want to pay for the service to watch the games, streaming them, you can go to MILB TV to do that. Social media at Josh_Suchon, common spelling for Suchon. And if you are a would-be aspiring journalist, quick plug, I'm now doing a podcast for San Diego State's Journalism and Media Studies Department. We offer lots of great advice about how to get into the industry and how to succeed, and it's going really well. It's really fun talking not just baseball, but talking journalism with a lot of SDSU alums.
I love seeing you branch out. You're such a diverse guy, and also very sorry for your loss, but congratulations on the great men's basketball season y'all had. Josh, take care. I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me on, Suzie.
All right, we have so much to talk about what Josh had to say, but first we have to talk about FOCO, because our friends at FOCO are the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise. We got the bobbleheads floating all around these studios. We love our FOCO gear. I was wearing a FOCO shirt. I was wearing my Rocky shirt earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorites.
I'm surprised you didn't wear it on the show.
You know what? I brought the suit because I wanted it to be bright.
It wouldn't have been as bright.
It wouldn't have been as bright. I love the Rockies shirt. It's one of my faves. I wore it at Pilates. Side note, this was like my first Pilates class that I've taken since the season started. And during the class, the instructor had me like explain the new rules and like the pitch clock and all of that.
Really?
Like during class.
Wow.
In my Rockies shirt.
That's multitasking.
It was so on brand.
Nice.
So on brand, and I had Foco to thank for it too, because that Rockies shirt is like absolutely perfect for just like wearing around. I can wear it to a game. I can wear it to work out. It's amazing. But they've got accessories, toys, collectibles, all kinds of novelties and more. And listen, they know that spring and baseball season go hand in hand. They have these like amazing Hawaiian shirts. They have these like straw hats with the Rockies logo on it. They've got polos, they've got bags, they've got everything you need for a game, no matter what the weather is doing out there, because we know it's all over the place here in Colorado.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But Foco, they have got, stuff for our teams. They're national too, so they've got all the teams. So if you want to buy a gift for someone too, Foco's got our back for Colorado sports. They have your back too. You can get the best gear around by using the link in our description for all non-presale items. Use promo code DNVR and you're going to get 10% off. And
Nice.
You know what? Best deal in law has got to be Backus and Shanker. Backus and Shanker. I have to like sing my own theme song now. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see we got the absolutely lit Backus and
Just
Shanker
amazing
neon
sign.
It's so amazing. But Backus and Shanker, all jokes aside, they do amazing work because they are here to help when you get hurt. Because Backus and Shanker wins for Colorado families. They're helping those who have been seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years, and it is totally free until they win money in your case. No upfront fees to speak with someone about your case. No fee while they work on your case. No fee unless they win you money. Backus and Shanker, they've done a lot too. They have won more than $1 billion for their clients. And they've got locations all over Colorado, including neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins, because Backus and Shanker has the strength and power to win your case. They've got more than 30 lawyers. They have more than 100 staff. That is a huge team there to help you win all kinds of injury cases where you are not at fault. So car accidents, motorcycles, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, they can even help you if you're injured at work. So call Backus and Shanker at all Dazas 222-2222 and find out if you have a case for free because Backus and Shanker wins.
Do you think if Dinger, the guy or gal who's in the Dinger costume, got injured, do you think they'd be able to help him? Or her?
I mean, yeah, technically, yes.
Yeah, that's injured at work.
And you're not at fault.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that person needs to give him a call.
I hope they're doing okay.
Yeah, right. Hopefully Dinger's not on the IL.
I'm so upset. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with like Dinger. Like,
is Dinger okay mentally, physically? Are we all good there?
Dinger
needs a day off. All right.
Dinger does need it. This break could not have come at a better time.
Yes.
But listen, the Rockies, we don't have a lot of days off because the Rockies are back in town on Monday.
Yeah.
And you can get those tickets to the game on Game Time, the hottest ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sporting events, concerts, shows, and more. So you can get those, you can get some prime seats. You can get seats behind home plate for a really good deal. You can get seats in that good territory for catching foul balls. You're going to save up to 60% off when you wait closer to first pitch with Game Time because the biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you never thought you could buy. And I know a lot of our friends have been using Game Time to get those Rockies tickets, especially at the last minute, because everyone I work with is so impulsive.
Yeah, oh yeah. and let's be
impulsive.
honest, baseball games are the best to just 30 minutes before the game be like, you know what, I'm going to a Rockies game tonight.
Yeah, and there's
Easy.
so many of them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Every single day, it feels
Why
like.
not?
Went to an Avs game last night, actually, and got to watch them, and we got our tickets on Game Time. It was a solid deal. Right?
I love that. Where were the seats?
We had good seats. We were right about center ice in the second section.
Mm-hmm.
But, we got them pretty last second, and they were a good deal. Much cheaper than a lot of the other places we had gone to watch hockey games too. So yeah, it was a good deal. And the Avs had a good win.
I was going to say, this is good to know now that it's like everyone else's playoff season right now.
Yes.
All of our Denver
very
teams.
much so. Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder to get tickets, but you know where to go to get them.
Yes.
All
right.
Go to the game.
Yeah, the bottom line, if you love DNVR, you're going to love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets. We have a link in the description, right? Yeah, we've got a link in the description. And yeah, best way to save. You're going to score the best seats to all of your favorite events. And yeah, check out that link in the description. There we go. Good stuff.
Nice.
All right, let's talk about what Josh Suchon had to tell us about. I mean, really, the big event is Fernando Tatís Jr. rehabbing in El Paso. We were talking a little bit about this off air. But when you see those superstars come in for rehab assignments, that is a huge deal for minor league towns.
It is. And you know, I was mentioning that to you because it brought memories to me of when Felix Hernandez was on the injured list. So he was doing an actual injury rehab with the Mariners. And this was when he was playing on, I actually don't remember what team it was, but they ended up playing the Spokane Indians at the time. And he made the trip to Spokane. I mean, it was like the city shut down because Spokane, Washington's close to Seattle or close enough to Seattle in the same state. And it was just an insane amount of people buying jerseys and concessions. And for small town minor league baseball teams, so much of that community engagement comes from these moments where you have a big named player getting an opportunity to play in front of the fans, and the fans love that. So although it's hard for someone like us to kind of sit there and watch Fernando Tatis doing well in minor leagues and being like, oh, come on, man.
I mean, I hate to see it, but I can imagine that if you are a Padres fan, that's a really exciting person to see come through.
It is, and for a lot of, and for a place like Albuquerque where you're not getting to watch those guys, you have to travel to go watch Major League Baseball games or a player like that play. It's super cool to see that in a much smaller environment. And so that's really fun. And it's something that means a lot to a lot of the minor league teams. So I think it's cool.
And they're in El Paso right now. So like El Paso, especially, so far away from any major league team.
Exactly.
They're really out there.
Yeah. And it's the same thing where it's like, in a place like that, El Paso, Albuquerque, Spokane, Washington, where you're having to just follow other teams, major league teams, when you get to see a player of that caliber come and play in front of your team, your home team. That's really fun.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of really good rehab assignments come through when I was in Hartford, but like the one that was an absolute showstopper was Tim Tebow.
Yeah,
who it wasn't even very good, but just so famous.
And he was there for so long, right? I mean, like he was in the minor leagues for such a long time, but good Lord.
Oh my God. But like I did a story on it for my news station, and like there was a girl who was like, oh yeah, I drove here from Florida. I'm like, you did what?
Yeah. Like, wow. Impressive. Yeah, no. And Manny Ramirez, he was talking about, as Suchon was using that as an example of like Manny Ramirez coming down to the minor leagues to do his rehab assignment. And, it's cool to see guys that you wouldn't normally see at that level. And it is kind of fun because usually the guys are doing pretty well against, some of that pitching. And, Tatis had 8 RBIs in the game.
8 RBI, yeah. We're not an RBIs family here. We're an RSBI family here.
RSBIs.
Please.
Yes.
No, just RSBI.
RSBI. Okay. RSBI.
Because it's runs batted
that's
in,
good.
not run batted ins.
I've never thought of it that way. I appreciate that. That's good. I'm gonna have to use that.
So now we're all on the same page.
Part of the family now. Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, that's like that kind of stuff's so cool, and it brings a lot of money in to these smaller minor league teams that just want to put fans in the stands. So.
Yeah, and Tatis played all 9 innings.
Yeah.
Which is not usual. It's not typical for a rehab assignment.
No, and I didn't know that there was a cap on 15 games for steroid, PED rehab assignments. So that's interesting. I actually learned a lot from that interview. So good.
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad that there's a cap on it. He can't just be like playing a whole minor league season until the suspension is over.
Yep. You get some games because he was also saying it's like, what do you expect? Like these guys aren't just going to sit around, and it's like, well, you also just you could just choose to not do PEDs in the first place. And that would have saved you the hassle of having to do a rehab assignment.
You made that choice. And I personally think
you should. Actions.
Exactly. I think you should sit it out and continue to think about what you've done. And then when your suspension is up, you can go do your rehab assignment.
Yeah, you get like the A-Rod timeout of like, you messed up, you need to go sit in the corner and think about your actions, and then you can come back and be good again, and like that's okay.
These are our opinions here.
True.
This is how we feel about it.
Yes.
Also, like, I don't want to see Fernando Tatis doing great.
No, we don't. No, we don't. The Padres are good enough as they are, although the Rockies seem to do a good job against the Padres no matter who they have. So we're going to go with that.
We only split the series. I love watching Padres Twitter absolutely implode, though, over the Rockies. They're like, why can't we ever beat the Rockies?
It was like the first 2 games of the season, too. I mean, just like, if there are games that you really want to win early in the year, it's the first game at least. It's rough to lose to the Rockies in the first game of the year.
Yeah. Well,
we'll take it.
I'll take it. They've got all season. They'll be fine. I'm really not worried about them.
No, not at all. No.
Okay, so one more thing before we close out the show. We have there's a new member of the AT&T Sportsnet broadcast team covering the Rockies here, but Ryan Lavarnway. So he was a catcher for he described it as basically every team but the Rockies. He played for so many different teams, but he's new to the broadcasts. He's been kind of introduced to viewers gradually over the past couple of games. Great dude though, such a great dude.
That's cool.
But yeah, got a chance to chat with him. We've been getting to know him. But Alyssa, are we ready to roll that interview?
Yes.
Sound and all.
Sound and all.
I love it. All right, here's our chat with Ryan Lavarnway. All right, joining the pod now, Ryan Lavarnway, the newest member of the AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain Broadcasts.
Yes.
How are you enjoying your time so far?
It's been really fun. Everyone's been super nice and welcoming, and it's like a new adventure for me, even though it's still baseball, and I've talked about baseball my whole life. Doing it on live TV, I feel the same rush of competitive and trying to compete when it matters, just like when I was playing.
Yeah, and that wasn't your playing career was not that long ago. I think when I met you at the pre-opening day event at the park, you were like, "Yeah, I retired 2 weeks ago."
Yeah, it's only been a couple weeks, and now I've had 3 days in the pre-post booth, and I got my first experience in the play-by-play room yesterday.
So. First of all, how was it? How did you like it?
I felt like I was on an alien planet, honestly. I grew up a Dodger fan, and Vin Scully, the best to ever do it. Every day, I mean, I've watched thousands of baseball games and played in, I don't know how many, hundreds of baseball games, but being in the booth was a totally different experience.
Yeah. Was there a point in your playing career where you were like, you know what, I think I could go into broadcasting after I'm done doing this?
No, there was a point in my career where I thought I didn't want to be a lifer in the game. Something about like my self-definition of what being a successful person would look like, and then I got out of the game a little bit during the off seasons and actually sold mortgages locally here, which was a little left turn, and then you know what, I fell back in love with the game, and I've the game has been one of my first love, and until I met my wife and my daughter, so I'm glad to be able to do it. When I watch the World Series and I make an offhand comment to my wife, and then John Smoltz says it on TV 5 seconds later, I was like, oh, maybe I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I love that. So wait, you did real estate for a couple of months, and you're like, nah, I got to get back into baseball.
A couple years.
Yeah,
okay.
I
mean, I was during COVID, I thought maybe my career might be over. We didn't know what to expect. Yeah. And I took a bunch of meetings around town, like you network just like anyone would do, and the guy that ended up being my boss like really sold me on like, this is the perfect time to get into the mortgage industry, and this was 2 years ago, and now not so much.
No.
So yeah, no, I'm really, really, really grateful for the opportunity to work for a hometown team where I've lived for the last 11 years, but it's a team that I never played for, even though I played for almost half of the other ones.
I was going to say, yeah, you've played for so many teams. None of them are the Colorado Rockies. What was your favorite place that you played? What's up there on the list?
Well, Fenway Park and Wrigley Field have to be in a class of their own. It's not really fair, the history there, and it's just, those places just are significant. The air smells different. You can feel it. Beyond those two, I always loved Camden Yards. I loved Great American Park in Cincinnati, and I had my best game ever there. And Seattle, where the team's heading next.
Nice. What to you makes the best game ever?
Well, for me, it was the difference in how low I was the day before. I had got released. I was playing in AAA with the Yankees. I got released, and I ended up in the big leagues with the Reds the next day somehow, and had the best game of my career. I broke the Reds' franchise debut record for RBIs, and it just the life change that happened in that 24 hours, that'll go down for me as one of the best days of my career.
That is, what a wild ride that is.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your family's Denver connection, because you mentioned you spent a lot of time here, but you're a Southern California guy, right?
Yeah, I grew up in LA County. My wife grew up here in Colorado. She went to Cherry Creek High School, and we moved back here in 2012. So I've spent every winter here for the last 11 years. Since I've been here, I've always tried to sign with the Rockies in the offseason. Every year when I was calling my agent, because I changed teams every year since 2014, I didn't have spring training with the same team once. And every year I was like, do the Rockies need a catcher? And every year my agent was like, no, not really. So I appreciate how the city loves the team. The city always supports the team. And I wanted to be involved with this organization more than any other team. And when I knew I was going to retire after the WBC, but I wasn't ready to announce that publicly yet, the Rockies are the only team that I talked to. And I talked to the front office about maybe doing something in the front office. I talked to Spilly about trying to get involved with the broadcast team, and well before I was ready to announce it to anyone else.
What are you most looking forward to this season?
Well, Nolan Jones just got called up today. He is a former teammate of mine. I could not be happier for him because he's such a great kid, and I hope that he can put together some consistent at-bats like he did when I played with him, because he's fun to watch. He gets on base. He doesn't swing at bad pitches. And he views the game very differently than I ever did from an offensive perspective. So I'm really excited to see him hopefully have a lot of success. And there's some other players on this team that I've played with or worked out with in the offseason for years. Daniel Bard I played with in Boston.
Oh my gosh.
Ty Block and Pierce Johnson are guys that I catch their bullpens in the offseason. And I'll probably continue to catch their bullpens in the offseason just to stay in shape and help them out. But it's great to see some familiar faces, and I'm excited to get to know the rest of the guys.
You've got a lot of friends in the building. I love this for you.
It's great to know people, I guess.
Hey, well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining the pod. I appreciate it. Best of luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we were talking offline during that interview, but I asked Christian, I'm like, okay, like when you're watching baseball games, do you do that thing where the broadcaster will say the thing that you just said in passing to your wife?
I call it the like Tony Romo of watching a game from home, because Tony Romo, football, he would always call the play before it happened. I will call what a broadcaster will say before the broadcaster says it. That's a different one. But my wife, Marissa, she actually does it more than I do. And it's only when we're watching basketball, because she played college basketball. And so we'll be watching a basketball game, and she'll be like, oh, that's a blah, blah, blah play, or they're going to do this, or they're going to say that. And it's like always right on the money. So
we got to get impressive. Marissa doing some broadcasting.
That's actually how we met. She was my color analyst when we were doing college basketball together. So she used to. I
feel like she leaves out the color analyst part, because I've never heard that piece of the story.
Yeah, no. So she produced for me, and then when I was doing play-by-play for our Western State Colorado University up in the mountains and the RMAC, she was doing color for our women's and men's basketball.
What can't she do?
Right? I know.
She's incredible. This is a Marissa Saez fan show.
It is. That's how we end every show, right? And,
yes.
Yeah.
This is how I like to live every day.
Yeah.
I loved that conversation. Also, the thing I love, so you're a Washington State dude.
Yes.
You have so many family who's going to be at this Rockies Mariners series.
Yeah, it's a bit of I guess now a rivalry, since I'm in Colorado and can say that I'm a Rockies fan and my family is Mariner fans. Yeah, my cousin's going to the game tonight, so that was cool. That will be cool. Hopefully she'll get to see a Rockies win. And then my mom's going to the game on Sunday. So the whole family. It's rare when the Rockies play in Seattle.
So rare.
It's like, it's cross-division play. And so you see it once every few years usually. So when the Rockies get the chance to play in Seattle, we'll go. When the Mariners come to Colorado, I will definitely be at those games. Rooting for the Rockies, though.
Yeah.
Because I never really got on board with the Mariners. Just because I technically came from a Giants household.
Yeah.
So the Mariners were just like a fun game to go to. But
it's a great park.
It is a good park. You can eat some crickets.
I was gonna say, do you eat the crickets?
I've tried them.
Yeah.
Tried them with friends. I don't consistently eat them.
I think they're great.
Yeah, they're good snacking foods.
I think it's a great snack.
Yeah.
I put them on my nachos.
Lots of protein. Yeah, a lot of crunch. Too much
it's
crunch.
Crunchy. It's so fun. Alyssa, would you try the crickets?
I did just eat a cricket in Mexico.
Oh.
Like a real
Our girl. Let's go.
Nice. That's awesome. Wow. I had never heard of it until
she was drunk.
I had never heard of it until the Mariners, so I didn't know it was a thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I could hear some of the TV people saying like, "I don't want to eat one."
Yeah, they all
one?
did it.
I don't want to eat one.
They all the broadcasters tried it, and I'm hoping that the broadcasters for
It's
the Rockies
weird
try
to
it.
not try it.
You kind of have to. That's what I mean. Like I tried it. I tried it. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best.
I thought it was lovely.
Yeah,
I thought it was delicious.
Yeah, something like
We're
that.
gonna end the show on that note.
Try some crickets.
We are try the crickets. But if you're not in Seattle for the game, follow along with us at DNVR _Rockies. We keep you posted on all of the updates every single game. Because that is our passion and our livelihood. Christian, where can we follow you?
On Twitter at CJJ Saez.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect.
That's where I am.
And you can follow me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. And Christian, you know what we say about me closing out a show?
Still haven't figured it out.
I don't know how to do it, but Patrick and I will be back together on Sunday to break down this whole Seattle series. So we will talk to you post-game Sunday evening.